Hello and welcome to the DH Pickleball Show. My name is Mike Behrens, where every week we sit down with David Henry, the other guy on your screen right now, and we talk about his journey to becoming a senior pro pickleball player. That's his goal. That's what he's taking us along on this journey and helping us get better in the process, helping you, the listener, get better in the process by sharing some tips and tricks on how to improve your game. So, David, welcome to the DH Pickleball Show, man. How you doing?
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Doing really well. I think it's just the days just get busier and busier. It's crazy. So like today, my corporate job, my work from home corporate job, just crazy busy. Like all good stuff, but just crazy busy. Then I bug out of there right at 5, and I head to my daughter. She's coaching high school volleyball, so I head to her match. And then she did not have anyone to do scorebook tonight, so I had to do scorebook. So yeah, it was fun, and they played really, really well. They lost a close one in 3 sets, but it was fun. Then I rushed home, wolfed down some dinner. Then I went down to the basement and did my strength and conditioning upper body workout tonight. Then, as you know, we just concluded a great X Endurance Academy Zoom meeting, and then now here it's 4 minutes till 10 o'clock Eastern time, and we're sitting down to do this episode. But again, all good things. I'm doing well. How about you, man?
Yeah, that's a full day.
For sure.
A very full day. Yeah, I did not have that full of a day, but I'm doing pretty well, and I'm excited to talk to you about tonight's episode. And we'll try not to make it too long, but we have a kind of a set time that we like to stick to.
Yeah,
on its own.
Yes. I think I mentioned. It might actually be a future episode depending on where this one fits in. But I mentioned, that we seem to always hit right around 40 minutes. Like it's not planned, but it's like every time we hit the stop button on recording, we're right around 40 minutes. So we'll awesome. See where tonight goes.
Yeah. No, well, let's get into it. So let's talk about tonight's episode is about your September results. At the time of recording this, we're a couple days into October, so we're talking about September results. I know you had a couple tournaments, you did a lot of practicing, you had your ladder league, so we're going to go through all of them. So share with us. Let's start off talking about the tournament at the beginning of September, and then we'll kind of work from there. So tell us what happened with that.
Yeah, it's been a busy, good month, and the first weekend of September seems such a distant memory right now. But I'll do my best to pull it out. But I certainly have some notes here. But yeah, that was it was the Gym City Fall Pickleball Tournament. That's here in Tip City, Ohio, which is a northern suburb of Dayton. Good friends of mine who I've just met playing some open play, Rick and Kim DeLong, they put on the tournament. It was kind of their first time putting on and hosting a tournament, and they did a fabulous job. It was at the Schroeder Tennis Center, which is it's 100% tennis courts, but they have lined courts for pickleball and temporary nets, so it all works. It's great. And the tournament was the pool play was outside, and then for the medal rounds, which I'm giving a little preview, made the medal rounds. We moved indoors, and so I was playing that one with my buddy, my good friend and neighbor Mark Blair. I think I mentioned in the last results update, Mark and I played our first tournament together, and we took bronze at a 50 plus 3.5 tournament in Middletown, and that was. It was great because I didn't know what to expect because Mark's got a high ceiling as far as a player, but he's pretty new, just been playing since like March. And so just didn't know what to expect. So we did a great job and we took bronze in that tournament that we talked about in the last results update episode. So then in this one was the second one we played together. And I tried to get Mark to play the higher 4.0 level, but he just didn't feel ready for it. So we played 3-5. And we rolled. I mean, we rolled through pool play. So pool play was 5 games to 11. They were just single games to 11, and we had 5 of them. And so Mark and I got off to a great start. We went 4-0 in the first 4. And then in the final game of pool play, we came up against the team who I knew, Greg and name eludes me. Anyway, I want to say Rick, but Ron. I want Ron, Greg and Ron.
Okay.
And so I knew they would be. I knew they would probably be the team to beat. And so we both went 4-0 in pool play, and then we played each other in the final pool play round. And they beat Mark 11. They beat us 11-9. So by just two measly points. But we knew we were both in the medal rounds anyway. And so anyway, so then we moved to the medal rounds, which we moved inside, and that was the top 4 finishers played. So they got the first seed, we got the second. So in the semifinals of the medal round, those moved to games of 15 instead of 11. And a team that we had rolled in the very first match, we played them in the semifinals, and we rolled them again. I mean, we didn't play as well, and they played a little bit better, so I think the score was a little closer than the first time we played them earlier in the day. But we rolled them and moved on to playing Ron and Greg again in the final. So we met up with them, and they took us 15-13. So anyway, we took silver, which I was really pleased with. So Mark and I did bronze the first time together, and then we did silver the second time together, and it was good. It was just funny that over the course of playing Ron and Greg twice that day, 4 points was all that separated us. So we were right there. So it was a fun tournament.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's very, very cool. Okay, so you told me that there's quite a story about that tournament. So is that the story, or
no? It's the next one.
Oh,
the three strikes tournament. Yeah,
3 strikes tournament. Got it.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I jumped ahead. So what happened with the 3 strikes tournament? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So I'll tell you the story first, and we'll get into recapping what a 3 strikes tournament is, and then I'll tell you the results. So anyway. That was a Saturday, and it was up in Sydney, Ohio, which is about an hour north of where I live. And I just rushing around, getting ready. I think I had to leave the house about noon and to get up to Sydney by 1 o'clock. And so just rushing around. I mean, there's just a lot of things to get ready. You got to make your shoes, you got to get your water bottles filled, make sure I got my X Endurance Hydro in my bag, make sure I got my KT tape on, just a lot of things to think about and get ready. And so I'm doing all that and trying to eat and fuel up and everything and just rushing around. And so I go to leave the house, and I shut the garage door, and then I just went out the front door, and I'm loading stuff up in my car, and I noticed the garage door is open, and I just shut it. So I'm like, okay. So I go back in the house and shut the garage door, and I watched it close, and my wife had laid a big shovel in the path of the garage door right against the track. So it's pushing down on the shovel, and it won't go. And so then because of that, it got off track. The garage door broke. And so I could only get the garage door down about halfway. All right. And so my wife is gone running some errands at that time. So I'm calling her. So I jump back in the car. I'm calling her saying, hey, when you come home, you're going to see that the garage door's half open. Here's why. When I get home tonight, I'll try to fix it, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
And so, I'm just a little frazzled. I was running late at that point, and get in the car, drive an hour north to Sydney. Pull in the parking lot up at Sydney, get out of the car, open the back door to get in the back seat to grab my pickleball bag.
No. Know where that's going.
There was no pickleball bag in the back seat.
Oh, that sucks.
So I call my wife and get a hold of her, and I'm like, I'm sure the bag's at the house. Can you check? Because I did stop at a rest stop to go to the restroom, and I locked the car or whatever. But part of me thinking, did someone take it out of there? But I didn't think that was the case. And so she's looking around the house everywhere for it, and she can't find it. I said, look in the garage. And she goes in the garage. She says, yeah, there's your bag.
Oh, no.
So I had it on my shoulder when I was going out to the car, and when I noticed the garage door was open, I just kept it on my shoulder, went back in, must have thrown it off in the garage. I was working on the garage door, and so anyway, so I'm I'm up at this 3 strikes tournament without my shoes, because I just wear like running shoes to go to the event. I keep my pickleball court shoes in my bag, so I didn't have my shoes. didn't have my electrolyte, my hydro, because, you know, my water and all that. And of course I didn't have my paddles. And you know, how you know, I customize my paddles and I just want to play with my exact paddles.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, geez. So I go up to Kelly and Jason Bott. They're really good people. They're running this tournament, and I know them. And I said, hey, I got some bad news. I'm just gonna have to forfeit, and you know, I don't have anything. They're like, no, just borrow a paddle from us. And I'm like, well, because you know how I am. And so they're like, what do you play with? And I said, Yola Hyperion CFS. And she's like, Jason, her husband, she's like, Jason used to play with that. He's got an extra one. She's like, you can use. And so Jason heard what was going on, so he brought it over. So sure, it wasn't customized exactly the way that I play it, but it was good enough. It was the same paddle. So I played with that paddle. But I was teasing with Kelly and Jason, the organizers, because they hosted a tournament that we talked about last time up in St. Mary's, Ohio, where I played mixed doubles and I took silver with Cheryl. But that was the tournament, if you remember, where I was supposed to play doubles with Andy that morning, and his car broke down and we didn't make it to the tournament. So I told Kelly and Jason, I'm like, I'm not sure I'm ever going to play another one of your tournaments because something bad happens every time that I play the tournaments. But yeah, so
that's funny.
You know, but I remember texting you that day and saying, you know, well, hey, the silver lining is at least I've got a good story for our show.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So did you play the best pickleball of your life because you didn't have your stuff, or what?
I did not. It went okay, and yeah, it's probably a good segue to move off this silly story. But yeah, so it was a 3 strikes tournament, and back on an earlier results update, I had played in one of those. I forget if that was June or July time frame. And so just to recap for anyone who maybe missed that episode and doesn't know what a 3 strikes tournament is, it's a tournament where every round you randomly draw a partner. So it's just a blind draw. You don't know who you're going to play with. You draw like little poker chips out of a bag, and the 2 people that draw 1 are a partner, and they play the 2 people that drew a 2. And so then you play the round, and if you lose, you get a strike. Then you redraw next round and you play with another random partner. And then if you win, you're fine. If you redraw again. Anyway, when you lose 3 times, you get 3 strikes and you're out. So then eventually it dwindles down to where you have 3 people and you can't play doubles anymore. So then it moves to a little singles tournament. So that's what it is. It's a fun format. It really is, but it's not your most serious tournament because you're at the mercy of the draw. Because we've talked about before that pickleball is a sport where, you know, like I was talking to a girl the other day on the pickleball court, but she's a soccer phenom, and we were saying like, hey, in soccer, if you've got a weak player on your team, you can probably hide them a little bit on the field because there's so many players and it's such a big field. With pickleball, it's just not the case. Pickleball is such an easy sport to where you can really target the weaker player on a doubles team. Mm-hmm. And so that's why these 3 strike tournaments, I mean, you're really at the mercy of the draw, but they're fun. So anyway, so I think in that one, I think in the first round, I drew this guy named Mike Lee, who I had just met up there that day. And I would say he was probably the best tournament the best tournament. He was probably the best player in the entire tournament. So, just being real, I would say I was probably the second.
Okay.
And so he and I playing together in the first round was pretty easy victory.
Fair enough.
Yes. So then I think I went on to win I'll look at my notes, but I think I went on to win my second round as well. No, I'm sorry. Second round, I probably played with one of the weaker players in the tournament. And it was a lady who, bless her heart, it was very kind of her. I think we were 1 person short. So she had played in the lower level. I think this one was 3-5 and above, and she played in the 3-5 and below earlier in the morning. So she was just filling in. It was super nice of her. But yeah, so we did not win that one. So I had a strike after the second round. Then I won round 3. I won round 4, lost round 5, and then I made it to the final 4. So it was down. I think there were 14 of it. It was smaller than the last one. I think there were 14 of us. And so I made it down to the final 4 and then lost that match. I played with this guy who I forget his name, and he was a pretty decent player. But man, he was off in the game. In the game, and he was super nice guy. He was apologetic. He was just missing shots. I mean, I was actually doing pretty well and setting him up on some shots for some putaways, and he just was missing. And but it just happened. It happens. And so I did not make it to the final 3 to play singles. But it's interesting because, like I was saying, in this format, you're really at the mercy of the draw. I would say if I'm just thinking in my mind, the top 4 players of the day, just by my observations, Mike Lee, me, Jason Bott, and another guy that I met up there named Mark were probably the 4 best. And out of the 4 of us, only one, Mike, made it to the final 3. So so it just goes to show that the blind draw really has an impact. But it's still fun. No, I was glad I did it. Yeah.
Sure. No, that's awesome. That's cool.
So I handed Jason his paddle back at the end of the day, said thank you, and went home.
Said I'm never coming to one of your tournaments ever again.
Absolutely. It's crazy.
Did you get the garage door fixed?
I mean, I got it. My father-in-law and mother-in-law were coming over that night to watch the Ohio State Notre Dame game. So so he was helping me a little bit. We got it shut for the night, so we were able to get it shut, but it was pretty broken. So I had to shell out $120 the next day for a garage door repairman. But yeah, we got it fixed.
Got it. Okay, good deal. All right. So 3 Strikes tournament was fun. That there was another tournament at the very last day of September that you played with a new doubles partner. How'd that go?
Yeah. So Greg Justice. So in the first tournament in September, I mentioned we lost it twice to Greg and Ron. Yeah. And so that is the Greg that I played with. I played with him a few times before in some open play, so I knew Greg a little bit. We just get along really well, and I really like his style of play. And so we decided that we were gonna play some tournaments together. And so this was our first attempt to do that. It was at a Lifetime Fitness down in northern Cincinnati in Mason, Ohio. Gorgeous facility, 6 beautiful indoor courts at the Lifetime Fitness. Lifetime, I'm sure you probably have them in your area, correct? Yeah. So big fitness franchise, super, but they're really embracing pickleball. Lifetime really embraces pickleball. So a lot of their facilities have dedicated indoor pickleball courts and dedicated outdoor pickleball courts. There was actually just a big Major League Pickleball tournament the weekend before last that was held in Atlanta, and it was held at a Lifetime Fitness. And cool. So phenomenal facility. So we're in there, and it was a 3-5 plus tournament. So there were quite a few 4-0 guys in the tournament. It was a tough field, and I knew it was going to be tough. And it was open age. So Greg and I are both, I'm 52, Greg's 53. So I think Greg and I are really going to excel in the 50 plus tournaments. Yeah. But this was open age. We're playing some young guns as well. And so so it was really well. So I think Greg and I won the first one 15-6 and we're 1-0. We won the second one, I think 15-3 and we're 2-0. Then in the third one, we played the team that ended up eventually winning bronze medal. And they jumped out on us an 8-0 lead. So when you're playing to 15, you switch at 8. You switch sides at 8. And so man, they got to the side switch without us even scoring a point. I mean, we were just missing some shots. We weren't playing clean, and we got down quickly 8-0. But then we fought our way back all the way and ended up losing 15-13.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
so yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I was very disappointed about the big hole that we dug ourselves, but I was also just really pleased with our ability to battle back and the resiliency that we showed and, almost took that match. So,
Yeah, that's
if
awesome.
we would have played cleaner at the beginning and not gotten that big hole, we probably would have taken that one. But
Yeah,
so we lost.
yeah.
Yeah. So we lost that. We're 2-1. Then, we ended up playing the next one, some young kids. They were I think they're like high school tennis players.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they were good. They're no jokes. I mean, those young kids, they just their hand speed at the kitchen line is just so fast.
Sure.
And their bursts of speed and just ability to run down balls, that a lot of 50+ guys don't run down. They run down the balls. And so,
Sure.
so anyway, so they were really good. And they jumped out on Greg and me. They jumped out to a 10-3 lead on us.
Oh.
So we dug another deep hole. We battled back, ended up losing to those kids 15-13.
Oh, wow. Dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you guys just get your crap together at the beginning of the game, it'd be all right.
Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. Yeah. And so at that point we were 2-2 and we had one left. We actually played my partner Andy that I play with a lot of times.
Oh,
We played him and another guy. He teamed up with another guy, Jamie. And unfortunately it was a meaningless match because with us sitting at 2-2 in pool play, we weren't going to make the medal round. Oh, the kids that we lost to went on to win silver. So the team that we lost to first went on to win bronze. The kids we lost to went on to win silver. And so then we're playing a meaningless match again. It was just a pride match against Andy and Jamie. And I think Greg and I won that 15-11 or something like that.
Thanks.
So we finished 3-2 on the day for our very first tournament where high level of competition, bunch of young players, and we were a hair away from being 5-0.
Yeah. Couple points. Yep.
Yeah. And I think I was telling my wife about the results, and I told her, I said, I think all 4 teams that went on to the medal round, so the top 2 teams from each pool went to the medal round.
Uh-huh.
And I'm pretty sure that every team in the medal round, so 8 guys, I'm pretty sure they were all under 35.
Oh,
including the high school kids, So again, man, I was really pleased with, with it. Greg apologized. He said he didn't think he played his best, but I thought he played great, and I was really pleased with our results for our very first tournament. And we've got another one scheduled at the end of October, and I'm sure we'll play a lot more than just that together. But yeah, real fun time. I mean, it's always disappointing to walk away from a tournament without a medal.
Sure.
But again, I'm also moving up and playing higher skill levels, and that was an open age, and so it is going to happen from time to time. But I'm just so damn competitive that I'm not totally pleased unless we walk away with a medal. But I did find some good wins in that tournament and some good things to take away from it.
That's awesome. I do have one question real quick.
Yeah, please.
Did you just say that your wife gets to know the results before the rest of us do?
Yes.
What the heck, dude? Why is she so special? That's not fair.
That's funny, man. That's really funny. Yes. I texted her before I even left Lifetime. So.
Oh man. All right, fine. I suppose because she's married to you, she gets to find out before the rest of us.
Correct, but she could have had her ass there to support me, and she wasn't there. So, Greg's wife showed up, but where was mine?
He doesn't mean that.
She doesn't watch the show anyways. She's asleep down the hall. She can't even. She doesn't watch the show. So. No, just teasing. She's a tremendous support for me.
Still, he doesn't mean it. Just in case you do listen. Anyway, okay, moving on before you get in more trouble.
Sure.
after the doubles tournament, the last couple episodes we've talked about your ladder league.
Yes.
And it's been in the last couple of results, we've had ladder league updates. So is that still going on? Where are you at? What's going on with the ladder league right now?
Yeah. So we're sitting here, I think, what's today, October 2nd. And so I played in the ladder league last night. We won't talk about those results until the next update, since that was technically October. But last night was probably my last ladder league session, because it actually continues one more Monday, but next Monday also is a start of a new ladder league at the Pickle Lodge that's going to run for 6 weeks through the end of November. So I'm probably going to skip my last session of my Middletown outdoor league and move on to the pickleball one, or Pickle Lodge one, for next Monday. So we'll talk tonight through the second to last session.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's going well. I mean, and we've talked before, and just to catch anybody up is, I wasn't pleased where I started out in this ladder league. I started 30th out of 60, and knew that I wasn't 30th. And so it looks like we didn't play on Labor Day, on that first Monday of September. So on 9/11, we played. And at that point, going into that night, I was second. So I had moved up from 30 all the way to second. So I was at second going in that night. I laid an egg that night.
Oh,
no. Yeah. No excuses. Like the first time I laid an egg earlier in the summer, like I was sick.
Sure.
But no excuses this time. I just laid an egg. So I went I went 1-3. I finished fourth on the court. So again, the algorithm was expecting me to finish second on the court. I finished fourth on the court, and I got punished by the algorithm. It dropped me from second to eighth.
Ooh, ouch!
Yes, it did.
Ouch.
So anyway, so then fast forward to the next week, which was the 18th of September. I started at 8th. I went 2-2. I finished second on the court, and the algorithm was expecting me to be second on the court. And so I jumped from 8th to 5th that night. Yeah. And so slowly working my way back up. And then on the 25th of September, I started out at 5th. Played really well.
Does that get you on the first court?
Yeah. Five per court. So yes, I was the last person on the first court that night. So I played really well. I went 3-1. I finished second on the court that night, and that jumped me back to second.
Nice.
So and then after that, I have played one more session last night, and I'll let you hang on that one for another month.
Well, I will say what everybody that's listening is thinking. All right, thanks, jerk.
We can cover it. We probably should cover it. And can. So I started last night at 2-2. I'm sorry, at second. I went 2-2, but due to the point differential, I finished second. So I held on to my second. So I didn't move. So I held on to my second spot. Doug Ross, he has been pretty much hanging on to the number one spot for the last several weeks. I think he dropped a little bit one week, but then he got number one back. He finished first again last night. He's just a hair better than everybody else, and he deserves it. And so he's also joining the new league at the Pickle Lodge. So yeah. So he won't play next week. So basically, for all intents and purposes, he finished first. I finished second, and really, I couldn't be happier with that result. I mean,
dude, you should go play. Did you get first?
Yeah, well, he'll be at the Pickle Lodge with me next week. So if I beat him there, then I can just say that I'm first. But
there you go.
But yeah, but no, overall, super pleased with how the league went. Moving from 30 all the way up to second, dropping a little bit, moving my way back up to second, and then maintaining second last night. I'm really pleased with that. It was I considered it a success, and it was just a lot of fun.
Well, I'd say you put your money where your mouth is. I mean, if you felt like you didn't deserve to be 30th, you proved it. It would have been a hell of a deal if you ended up 30th.
Yeah. I'd probably be lying to you if that were the case.
Yeah,
but
right.
no.
Well, that's cool. Okay, so
Yeah.
so there wasn't any other tournaments you played in September, was there?
No. So
Okay.
the ones we talked about plus the ladder league, and that's
Yeah.
really it from a tournament or league standpoint.
Yeah. How's the practice sessions been going?
Yeah, really well. Jeremy and I are still doing that. I think I mentioned the last time that I super busy. Like Jeremy would do this twice a week if he would
Yeah.
do the drilling practice sessions, the Pickle Lodge. He would do that twice a week if we could. But it's just my schedule that's
Sure.
the limiting factor. And so in September we got in 2 sessions. We got in one on the very first week of September, and then we got one in just last week on the last week of September. And yeah, man, it's just so incredibly valuable training. And as I've said in previous ones, like Jeremy does all the work of planning and setting up what we're going to do each time. And I think I talked about on another episode, I think it's yet to air. I think it'll fall after this one due to how we do the results updates, on a little bit different schedule. But the last one we did, he mirrored it after what Ben and Colin Johns do, how they do some of their workouts. And yeah, it's just phenomenal. And it's just paying off so much. I mean, we work on things a lot of times, like we work so much on defense. So, I'll be at the back of the court and he'll be at the kitchen line and he'll just be pinning me back and hitting hard shots at my feet. And I'm just defending those shots and then just dropping them over the net, dropping them in the kitchen on his side. And he's trying to pin me back and I'm trying to drop him in. Then I'll move to like the transition, like no man's land. So in between the baseline and the kitchen, and he's just pegging balls at me and I'm just defending them and resetting them into the kitchen. And then we switch and I do the same thing with him. But that's where, man, that's a part of my game now when I'm in tournaments and leagues that's really helping me is my defense has just really, really stepped up. And last night in the league, we rotate around partners. And so Doug, we got to play together one time, so we always play together each night with you play once with each person. And when Doug and I are playing together, he's got good defense, and man, we were just resetting. One of the opponents we were playing with, they're like, you guys reset and defended like every ball,
Awesome.
and it's just so important. It's such an important skill because you're just keeping that point alive. And if you can make your opponent hit just one more ball, then they're either going to set you up for a put away or they're just going to make a mistake. And so the ability to just defend and just keep that ball in play and keep it in play, so important. And that's one of the things. That's probably the biggest takeaway of all the training practice sessions that I'm doing with Jeremy. We work on a lot of different skills, but I'd say that's where the most growth probably has happened thus far. And so, yeah, I can't say enough about those trainings. And as soon as my schedule slows down a little bit, with my daughter's coaching of high school volleyball, I go to about 2 of her matches per week, and I wouldn't trade that for the world.
Sure.
But once that dies down here at the end of October, then Jeremy and I will definitely be able to do like once a week consistently. And we may even have some weeks where we'll get in 2 training sessions. So yeah, I'm just gonna build on it because I feel it's so valuable and really helping me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I know that practice makes perfect. At least makes you more comfortable on the court. Yeah. So that's awesome, man. That's great.
Yeah. And like we've talked about so many times too, there's the other benefits of just the confidence. Because I know that I'm out there just busting my butt for 2 hours with him drilling, and I just know I'm getting better. I know other guys aren't doing that. Right. And then the conditioning piece. I mean, we just work. And so it's just beneficial beyond belief.
Yep. That's great, man. That's great. If you really want to be a senior pro, you got to do it. Put in the work. That's awesome.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of putting in the work, what is on tap for October? What do you got coming up?
Yeah, so that lifetime tournament that Greg and I played the last day of September on the
Mm-hmm.
30th, on the next day, October 1st. So I already spilled the bag about, spilled the beans about my league in October, but I'll hold the tournament. So the next day on October 1st, I played mixed doubles
Yep.
with a lady, Hiroku, and at the same Lifetime Fitness. It was the same tournament, just the second day was mixed doubles. And so I'll talk about that. So that's one that I've already have under my belt in October. And boy, there's a story to go with that one too. So,
Little
that's
teaser for the next episode.
yeah, I mean, that's again, that's the good thing. I think I'll give a little bit of preview. I think I texted you on Sunday and said the silver lining is that when a tournament turns into a shit show, at least I've got a good story for the DH Pickleball Show. So
yes. So stay tuned, everybody, for the next results update.
exactly. So that happened. Then on the 14th, well, I'm also starting the new ladder league at the Pickle Lodge. That'll be a 4-0 plus ladder league, so same level as the current one that I'm in. Then on Saturday, October 14th, I'm playing in a 3-5 plus tournament. So a lot of these small, because I want to play 4-0s, from now on pretty much. But a lot of these smaller tournaments, they just divide it into like 3-5 and above, and then below 3-5 for some of the small tournaments. So that's what this one is. So it's 3-5 plus. And I'm playing with another new partner, a guy named John Hill. I just met John at my ladder league in Middletown. He's a younger guy. He's 35, so I can't play 50 plus with him. But this is an open age tournament, and he's got a strong tennis background. I think he played college tennis, and he's just rocketing his way up on the ladder league. I think he started maybe about where I did, and I think as of through last night, he's at 5th. So he's really
cool.
really moving up. So yeah, so we'll play that one together. It'll be fun. I stuck around after ladder league last night, and he stuck around, and so we played a couple games together just to practice playing together, and we rolled. It was fun. We played really really well together. So I'm really looking forward to that one on the 14th. That one is outdoors, and like it's been scorching this first week of October here in Ohio. I think it was like 86 and humid and sunny today. I know Chicago area. You probably you're way out of Chicago, but yeah, you probably have the same weather. It's brutal. But 2 weeks it could be awful. So I'm a little nervous about that one from the standpoint of you just don't know what it's going to be like on an outdoor tournament. But we will roll with it and see what happens. And then I am playing at the very end of October the Monster Smash tournament at the Pickle Lodge, and that's another one that Greg and I are playing together. So that'll be our second tournament together, and that one is a 4-0 tournament. So it's 4-0 to 4-5. So it's a 4-0 tournament, and it is also unfortunately open age. So there could be some younger ones in there, but again, it'll be great. It'll put us to the test, and we'll see what happens. So and then I think Jeremy and I think we only have one practice session scheduled in late October, and again that's due to me and a busy schedule. But yeah, I got a pretty full October of some tournaments and leagues, and
sounds like it. Yeah,
just want to keep this thing rolling, man.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait to hear the results update.
Yeah.
Really, it's fun for me to hear how you're doing, because keeping tabs on you as you're really trying to hit it and hit in stride. And I think those practices are a big payoff. But then playing in those open tournaments, that's good too, So that's good. That's awesome.
Yeah. Playing against those young guns will really put you to the test.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, hey man, thanks for sharing everything about your results for this last month. Is there anything we missed? I think we got it all.
Yeah, I think we hit absolutely everything, and I am looking at the timer.
Right about 40 minutes.
We're at 39:02 as I speak. So man, it is uncanny how we hit that mark every time without planning to do so. There'll be some point when we'll have a 20-minute episode or an hour episode.
Yeah.
But who knows? But that's kind of funny. So yeah, man. Again, as always, I really really appreciate you co-hosting this with me, and I know
sure.
it's late for me here in Ohio. I know it's late for you in Illinois, but I really, really appreciate you sticking around late night and doing this.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah. And we appreciate everybody listening too. It's we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't have listeners. So thanks for
You
listening.
got it.
We're very happy to answer questions if you have any. So leave a comment, subscribe, share the show. Anybody that loves pickleball and loves good stories. David told a couple good stories tonight, and he's got one coming for us at the next results update. So subscribe to the channel so that you can stay up to date with what's going on. If you want to stay up with David during the weeks in between episodes, it's at DH Pickleball on Instagram. And yeah, that's it for myself and for my good buddy David Henry and the DH Pickleball Show. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks.